To many Americans, the 4th of July marks American independence, but for many in the black community, Juneteenth is the true mark of American freedom. On June 19th, 1865, 2 years after President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, lawfully ending slavery, but only at that point in states that were actually in rebellion during the Civil War, the news finally was delivered to enslaved black people in Galveston, Texas, that the victory of the Union in the Civil War had indeed rendered them free people. We fast forward now to 2022 and mark this as a national holiday. So for more insight, we turn to Associate Professor of Africana Studies and Chair of the Department of Afro-American Studies, Dr. Gregory Carr. Dr. Carr, thanks very much for joining us. I got to say, growing up and really up until my adulthood, I didn't really know much about this holiday. And I note that you were quoted as saying that every June 19th is an opportunity for us to continue the momentum of memory. That's a great phrase. So why and how can somebody like me who's sort of new to understanding this holiday, how best to recognize and celebrate it?
It's a great question, and happy holiday, Terry. Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, the momentum of memory simply speaks to our capacity to construct a better society based on remembering the best of what we've done previously and also recognizing the mistakes we've made. July 4th didn't mean anything to those who were enslaved in this country. And Juneteenth, of course, as you said, General Gordon Granger coming into Galveston there in June 19th, 1865 and saying that all of you are free and that you can now, you have the same rights as white folk and you can work for wages. You know, that transforms the concept of who is and isn't part of the American experiment. And that's why it joins Emancipation Day, which is January 1st. It joins the rights in the Caribbean of August, Emancipation Days there, as one of the days signifying the potential to transform societies that have been previously oppressive.
Does it also kind of realize the promise betrayed that July 4th represents, that that line that they wrote, all are created equal and endowed with inalienable rights, that they enshrined into their Declaration of Nationhood at a time when so many of them owned slavery? Is there a continuity there as well as you pointed out, a discontinuity?
Yes, both, Terry. I think this is what makes Juneteenth unique among the now federal recognized holidays. I was at the White House last summer when President Biden signed the legislation. Mother Opal Lee, of course, from Texas there, known as the mother of Juneteenth. And it was really transformational to think about the fact that this project didn't make that promise to so many, the indigenous, people of African descent, women who could not vote and participated fully in the civic exercise. So what this holiday really kind of marks is that we are coming into a new society. This is a new society being born in the 1860s. It's not one that is reaching back to the old society. And the parades, the festivals, the prayers, the gatherings, the Black institutions that fomented Juneteenth over the decades now, recognize the fact that we're going to have to build the kind of world we want to live in. We can't look to the past to do that. We have the momentum of what we've done well, but we can't go back and reconstruct what has happened before.
And now we're living in a country which still is obviously trying to realize both the promise of July 4th, 1776 and Juneteenth, right? And I want to ask about how people are celebrating it, or at least the corporations. I guess there have been some faux pas that Walmart faced backlash for their Juneteenth ice cream party and decor. So what are your thoughts on how corporations might celebrate? They celebrate every other holiday, right? To sell stuff on all kinds of holidays. What do you think about the corporate role here?
Well, Terry, we're in a capitalist society, so if it can be sold, somebody's going to try to sell it. So what you see in Juneteenth, however, is that the Black institutions, beginning in 1866, were the anchor of Juneteenth. I don't think it's going to be any different now. Kwanzaa is a holiday around December and early January. And I saw a lot of red, black, and green yesterday in Philly and Atlanta, here in D.C. I was around in several places in the country. And I think that really marks the fact that this is a self-determination holiday for people of African descent. The red, white, and blue are the colors of the Juneteenth flag, but red, black, and green were on prominent display everywhere I went yesterday, which really says that no matter what a corporation does trying to market something and make a buck, the people who have engaged in this work, who've engaged in this ritual, really won't be dislodged from the ways they've practiced it. They're just going to share it with the rest of the country, and that is an exciting thing to contemplate.
It is an exciting thing, a retelling, a renewing of the American story through this holiday. And I really appreciate learning from you. And thanks for joining us, Dr. Gregory Carr, Howard University.
Thank you, Terry. Happy Juneteenth, man.
Thanks. You too.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.